Hey everyone, this is your Star Trek Picard Season 2, Episode 9, the penultimate episode, Hide and Seek review. And I hope you stick around, subscribe, like, and comment, and make sure you come back for Strange New Worlds next week, and obviously more great content. So obviously this episode opens with a lot of different stuff going on. There's a lot of flashback memories about Picard's mum. I'm sensing, trying to tie up a lot of loose ends before we get to the main objective in the next episode. So Rios gets shot, and then he is transported out with Dr. Mum and Kid. The Borg Queen has been aboard the La Serena. Computer's locked out because Girardi's still in her mind playing with things. She puts the code into a hologram of Elnor. There's a nice little thing on the side of him, a portable hologram emitter, like from the Doctor in Voyager. And basically, he's running around the ship fighting. Girardi and Seven are obviously there. Once the Borg Queen's aboard, Seven and Girardi and Picard and Laris at the chateau. The Borg Queen's got all of her drones, of whom have like little pen marks to signify they're assimilated by the Borg. A little bit questionable. And basically they decide to split up. Picard and Laris running around the mansion. They go downstairs. Raffi and Seven are fighting for their lives to try and get around them, although they end up looking like they're going straight through. There's tons of Borg drones. We've also got Sung basically saying, look, I'm here, I'm going to get you. Why don't you just surrender? Brent Spiner does brilliant in this episode. He's not too bad. On the whole, the episode's really good. The revelation... So Girardi is playing with the Borg's mind. She's understanding it. She's still regaining some of her control, which is sort of holding her back from going too extreme. Raffi has an interesting emotional beat with Elnor, with the Elnor hologram, which was a sweet moment. I quite enjoyed it, even though obviously we didn't see that relationship build very much. It was a sweet moment. We also saw, like I would say, Raffi and Seven's relationship in this episode really held up well. I think they play well off each other. I think Seven's strong. I think Girardi as the Borg Queen is the real highlight, and she has been all season. She's nailed her delivery as that character and the emotional difficulties of it. Picard and Laris in the house. Obviously, we've seen them in the basement of the house. They go back in there. They're being hunted by Sung. We get a lot of flashback memories of him as a child and his mum obviously going through mental instability, of which we learn later on in the episode why this is so traumatic for him. So basically, Rios gets shot. He is out of the picture. He's in Laris's apartment. He's trying to break into her transporter so he can get back. So he's sort of shoehorned, locked in there for most of the episode. It's a fast-paced episode with a lot of stuff in it. I think the Girardi Borg Queen part is the biggest part, the best part. So Girardi sort of starts talking about the Borg Queen's quest, and we've seen this quest from First Contact through Voyager, where the Borg Queen's looking for a companion or someone she's close to. It's really interesting to see Girardi sort of talking about it and sort of going, why don't you try it this way, try it this way? And do you know what? I think it's actually believable. I think believable in the sense that the Borg Queen, once she was introduced, that's all she seemed to want, especially in Voyager. And I think it very much plays to the strengths of that. On the mention of Voyager, Raffi mentions that Seven should be a Starfleet captain, and Jerry Ryan, Seven, talks about how she tried to get into Starfleet, but they wouldn't let her in because she was Borg. Janeway threatened to resign, but before she could do that, Seven just left. I really liked that moment because you want to know what happened directly after Voyager, like most people. So Rios eventually gets back. It's obviously towards the end of the episode. We find out that Picard's mother hung herself, and that's the traumatic event that he's reliving in his memories. And it's you know what, it's a dark memory for a child. I think Patrick Stewart plays it nice and softly. In Generations, I remember one of the moments that jarred me. It was when Robert and Renee, his nephew, die, and he just cries. And I sort of, like, you would cry, but in this episode, you sort of, like, you can see the sadness in his face, and it's more of a nostalgic feeling of just like sadness. And I really enjoy that. I think that's a really good way of playing it as a character. That's the emotional beat of it, and the emotional beat is love. And I get this season is about love. I kind of hit us on the head with that one in this episode. So Raffi's talking to, begging the Queen to save Seven because the Queen goes psycho, stabs Seven. And Girardi's basically going, look, you've been looking for this unique person. You've been looking for someone to bond with. Like, they're here. You just have to find them. Seven being part Borg and independent was one of her most attractive features to the Borg Queen, which is legitimate. I really enjoyed those scenes. I think the Picard memory scenes are always, they just seem a little bit jarring. I don't know, Q wasn't even in this episode, although it said John Delancey in the credits, but maybe he's just been appearing in the credits the whole time. And otherwise, I'm hopefully we're done with Rios and his past love. I'm hoping so. Rios is back. Their mission now is obviously to help get Renee on the mission. And the Borg Queen, the Borg Queen makes a deal with Raffi that with Raffi and Girardi, that she will save Seven if she can have the ship, and she will go and teach the Borg how to be good, which is an interesting trust moment. And so basically, they give her the ship, which I get, because if the mission fails, they're fucked anyway. And at the end of the episode, we get Girardi as the Borg Queen going, you need 2 Renees, 1 alive, 1 dead. This is Renee the astronaut on the Jupiter mission? One of them. And 1 alive, 1 dead. And and Picard's told this, and he pretty much goes, look, my future isn't written until it's written. And then they head off into the sunset, and the La Sirena goes flying off into the distance. It's a really good episode. I feel like the pacing kept up with last week. I'm hoping next week can nail everything. I do think maybe the Q story is going to last next season, maybe. My theories are that Q's been giving Picard these memories to deal with this stuff so he can handle the situation. I'm not quite sure. This review's been a bit wacky because I'm just spouting stuff. But it's very much like I've enjoyed this season. There was probably about 3 episodes in the middle which were a bit down, and like I was like, oh, this is slow. But I very much enjoyed the Borg and Girardi. This episode was great. What did you think? Like and comment, subscribe. I'd love to hear your feedback. I'd also love to hit 100 subscribers with this video. And I hope that you have a great day. I'll see you next week for the 10th episode of Star Trek Picard Season 2. And I will see you for the first episode of Star Trek Strange New Worlds. I'll also be doing a season review of Star Trek Picard that week on the weekend.